"Stay away from there, homeless," the security guard shouted as the man ran toward the train with failed brakes. But the man had already climbed onto the car. "I've operated these trains for 35 years, he yelled against the wind. "I know how to engage the engine brake. From which city in the world are you watching this story today? If stories like this move you, consider subscribing to Unseen Legends for more tales of quiet heroes walking among us." Platform 18 of Chicago's Blue Line metro system was at its usual rush hour capacity that Wednesday evening. Workers heading home, students and tourists were waiting for trains. At the platform's edge, among the blankets in the corner, 64-year-old Tommy Rodriguez sat quietly. Tommy had been living on Platform 18 for 3 years. Passengers paid little attention to him. Just one of countless homeless people living in the metro system. Security guards knew him and didn't bother him as long as he caused no trouble. To most people, Tommy was invisible. That evening at 5:45 p.m. was not a routine day. Technical problems had begun at Metro Control Center. Train 4127 on Line 4 started reporting brake system malfunctions after departing Riverside Station. Control Center operator Lisa Chen became concerned when she saw the red warning lights on her screen. "Car 4127 reporting brake system failure," she spoke into her radio. "Can the train be stopped?" the center supervisor asked. "Engineer Manuel Rodriguez is trying, but the main brake system isn't responding," Lisa replied. At that moment, Car 4127 was passing Platform 17. Inside were nearly 200 passengers, workers heading home, hospital staff going to evening shifts, university students. No one knew the train was out of control. On Platform 18, Tommy was gathering his blanket. He had the same routine every evening: collect trash on the platform, clean up, prepare his corner spot. But that evening he heard different sounds. There was something wrong with the train sound. As a man who had worked 35 years in the metro system, Tommy could distinguish train sounds. This time something was wrong. Engine sound too high, brake sound too little. "Brake problem," Tommy muttered to himself, but no one would listen to him. Panic had begun at Metro Control Center. "Car 412000 not responding," Lisa shouted. "Approaching Platform 18 and can't stop." "Emergency protocol," the center supervisor commanded. "Evacuate Platform 18. Security guard Rick Thompson on Platform 18 heard the command from the radio. "Everyone move away from the platform. Emergency." Passengers panicked. Nearly 300 people on the platform began running toward stairs and exits. But Car 412000 was rapidly approaching. Tommy understood the situation. From the train's speed, the absence of brake sounds, the panic voices from Control Center, his 35 years of experience told him what was happening. Main brake system cut. Engine brake not engaged. Momentum unstoppable, Tommy analyzed. Security guard Rick saw Tommy in the corner and shouted, "You get away from there too, homeless." But Tommy didn't move away. Instead he ran toward the platform. "Stay away from there, homeless," Rick shouted again. Tommy could see the train approaching. 85 km/h speed, 200 passengers, concrete wall at the end of Platform 18. If the train didn't stop, there would be a major disaster. "I'm not homeless," Tommy said to himself. "I'm engineer Tommy Rodriguez." When the train entered Platform 18, Tommy started running. At 64, with a body worn by street life, he was trying to catch up to the moving car. "I've operated these trains for 35 years, he yelled against the wind. "I know how to engage the engine brake." Tommy jumped onto the car at the last moment. His hands still moved with 35-year-old habits. Door handle, emergency brake, engine control panel. Inside the car, passengers looked in amazement. They had seen a homeless man jump onto the train, but now the man was moving toward the train control systems. "Everyone stay in place," Tommy commanded. His voice was different now. 35 years of engineer experience had returned. Tommy reached the engine control panel. Modern systems were different from what he learned 35 years ago, but basic principles were the same. Engine brake, emergency stop, gear system. The main brake system was indeed cut, but the engine brake was still working. It just needed to be engaged. Tommy put the gear system in manual mode. The engine sound changed. Then he engaged the engine brake. The train began to slow down. "Engine brake engaged," Tommy spoke into the radio system. "Under manual control." Lisa Chen at Control Center looked at her screen in amazement. "Car 412 is slowing down." "Who's speaking?" "Engineer Tommy Rodriguez," Tommy replied. 35 years of service. On Platform 18, security guard Rick couldn't believe it. "Tommy Rodriguez, isn't that the legendary engineer?" The train stopped safely at Platform 18. 200 passengers disembarked safely. A major disaster had been prevented at the last moment. When Tommy got off the car, no one looked at him the same way. Not the former homeless man, but the rescuing hero. But for Tommy, the hardest moment was coming now. He had to tell his real story. Tommy Rodriguez, the metro supervisor, approached. Our records show you as retired. Yes, I retired in 2019, Tommy replied. Well, why are you here, living on the platform? Tommy began to tell his story. He had worked 35 years as an engineer in the Chicago metro system, safely transported thousands of passengers, never had an accident. But after retiring, he lost his wife, lost his house, and began living inside the place he knew best, the metro system. The metro is my home, Tommy simply explained. I learned these tracks for 35 years. I want to be here, to protect the trains. The metro supervisor looked thoughtful. Tommy, I want to offer you a job. What job? Security consultant. You can teach your experience to young engineers. Tommy smiled. I accept, but I'll continue living in my corner on platform 18. This is my home. The next day, Tommy's story appeared in Chicago newspapers. Homeless hero prevents metro accident. But the headline was misleading. Tommy wasn't homeless. He was the guardian of the metro system. Chicago metro system gave Tommy a special room, near platform 18, but more comfortable. Tommy accepted, but still continued walking the platforms every day. Young engineers began taking lessons from Tommy. He taught them his 35 years of experience, not just technical knowledge, but the importance of passenger safety, respect for the metro system, the responsibility of the profession. Tommy Rodriguez had become the legend of platform 18. But he was still the same humble man, except now no one saw him as homeless. Sometimes the most experienced people live in the most unexpected places. They are heroes who safely transported thousands of people for 35 years, then continued living within that system, waiting quietly, but using all their knowledge when needed. Tommy Rodriguez never left the metro system. He became its most loyal guardian. Have you ever had someone you knew who appeared homeless but turned out to be an experienced expert? Share it with us in the comments. And if stories like this move you, subscribe to Unseen Legends to hear stories of quiet heroes living among us. Because the next time you see someone waiting quietly on a metro platform, you might be looking at a former master of that system. This story is a work of fiction created to honor the spirit of experience and sacrifice. Any resemblance to actual persons or events is purely coincidental.